On problems where you have fractional exponents inside what is a quadratic, there are many ways you can work these problems out. One way to do this is called using U-substitution. In U-substitution, what you do is you take out the variables that look really confusing and turn them into something that's a little bit nicer to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say U equals x to the 1/9. I'm choosing the middle term and just the variable part of the middle term. By doing this, what I'm going to have for the middle piece is I'm going to now have minus 6, but instead of x to the 1/9, I'm going to have 6u. The plus 9 will still be there. So I have negative 6u plus 9 and then equals 0. This first piece though, the x to the 2/9, I've got to work on that one. So what we do is we actually find out what a u squared is. If I take x to the 1/9 and then I square it, what I get is x to the 2/9. So everywhere there's an x to the 2/9, I can replace it with u squared. So what I end up having for my modified equation is u squared minus 6u plus 9 equals 0. From this point, I can actually factor the quadratic using any factoring methods that you may be aware of. Just whichever one you're comfortable with, use that for factoring. So to factor this one, I end up getting u minus 3 and u minus 3 equal to 0. From that, since it's the same piece, I don't have to worry about it as much as I would if it were two different pieces. This is just u minus 3 squared equals 0. From this piece, we can take the square root of both sides and just get u minus 3 equals 0, or bringing the 3 over, we get u equals 3. Here's where we have got to a nice, neat, pretty answer. However, the problem is our original problem was not in terms of u. The original problem had x. So if we go back up a little bit, we look back up just to right here, we bring the screen down a little, u actually is equal to x to the 1/9. I didn't want the u value, I wanted x to the 1/9. So I'm going to re-change it back into my original problem and have x to the 1/9 equals 3. Now from this point, it should be like many of the other problems you had. X to the 1/9, I now need to change this by raising it to the 9th power. So I have x to the 1/9 to the 9th, I just have x. Then I work out 3 to the 9th to get x equals 19,683. Now there is only one answer on this problem because of our factoring. If we look back at our factoring, we had u minus 3 and u minus 3. It was the same thing twice. Sometimes when you work problems out, you'll have two different values for u, and when there's two different values for u, you just work the problem out twice by plugging in whatever u equaled into the two different pieces. I hope this helps.